welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. My name is Meg and today we are decluttering brow products. Welcome to my decluttering series. This is one of the many videos. I am just breaking down my makeup collection because if you are not aware, if this is your first time here, hi, hello, welcome, but I am in the process of moving, and every time I move, I like to clean out everything, so I'm bringing less with me into the new space. It's just like how I like to go about my things, so I figured it's been a minute since I've truly decluttered my makeup, so I figure why not share it here on YouTube. I've never really done decluttering videos before, so I'm really excited to dive into it. If decluttering isn't your thing, I totally get it. We will be back to regular videos pretty soon. This is just something to go up and hold us over while I am in the process of moving. So if you don't want to miss out on my content, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you will be notified when my next video is out. Typically here on this channel, I like to do tutorials and other makeup related videos, so I hope you stick around. I will have a playlist linked down below with all my other decluttering videos. I will also probably be doing a makeup collection video and a beauty room tour once I am moved, so look out for that. But I am just going to go ahead and dive right in and get through these products, swatches, and why I am keeping and why I am getting rid of certain ones. I hope you enjoy. Alright, welcome back to my very messy desk, but today we are doing face powders. So we have setting powders, blushes, highlight, bronzer, contour, all of that. I'm going to go over what I'm keeping and what is going away. First, I'm going to go through setting powders. So I have this is the only non-loose powder that I have. This is Physician Formula. This is just their mineral wear, talc-free, translucent powder. I've just had this for years. It's not that it was good or bad. It's just I prefer a loose powder. So this is definitely going to go into the trash pile. I just want to do a quick disclaimer. All the products that I'm discarding in this series is simply because they're old and well over expired, so that is why I'm not donating them or giving them away to anyone. It's because they're crusty and dusty and they gotta go. So bye-bye, Physician Formula. A powder that I really like, the e.l.f. translucent powder is good, but that's not what's in here. I actually have the RCMA No Color translucent powder in here. This is the absolute worst packaging of a loose powder of all time. I don't get how you're supposed to use this without making a mess or without having a container to put it in. So I got two of these off of was it Beauty Bay or Beautylish? I can't remember. I got them off of there and I've just been dumping it in here and using it as needed, and this has lasted forever. I feel like I've had this powder for almost a year and I've only used this much of it. So yeah, it definitely will last you a long time. Up next is the Maybelline Fit Me. This is in the shade 05 Fair. I really think that this is a great setting powder for the drugstore. However, I do find that I get oily wearing this, which I don't hear too many people ever say or really talk about. So if I don't need my makeup to last me like 16 hours, this works just fine. But if I do have a really long day or like an event that I'm going to, I don't know if I would necessarily pick this one just because I do tend to get a bit shiny throughout. Like you would need to touch up with it. And I have dry skin, so it's rare for me to ever need to touch up with powders. Lastly, I have the Laura Mercier, the infamous setting powder of YouTube. I actually enjoy this powder a lot. However, I can live without it because it is so expensive. I think it's like $43 or something. This is a powder I purchased for my wedding, which was about, I should clarify, for my wedding reception, which was about a year and a half ago. So it definitely lasts you a long time. However, I was only really saving and using this for special occasions. But now I'm just trying to get rid of it and use it up. So I'm using it more so on the day-to-day basis, but I can get by just fine with the RCMA. This does not, I don't have issues with flashback with this. This will last a long, long time. Your makeup will look nice, it will look flawless, but I just don't think it's worth the price tag for special occasions, and I just think that it's too expensive for everyday wear. But I am keeping it. I do like it. I just wish it was cheaper. Now let's get into, I guess, contouring. So I have palettes. I used to use the NYX shadow in the shade Taupe, which Nikki Tutorials made a cult product on her channel. Here, I'm not really getting rid of anything. I have this Tarteist Pro Glow palette. I'm not a huge fan of the highlights in this palette. I don't really ever use them, to be honest. I like a really blinding highlight, and I have other highlights I prefer more. But if you want a kit, this is something really great. I do enjoy the cream contour shade in here. I think that it is excellent and amazing. I live for this shade Sculpt, this contour powder. It is everything. I'm hoping Tarte sells this separately, but I have a feeling it's only in this palette. But this contour shade makes this entire palette worth it to me. I really, really like this. If you are on the pale neutral side, this is a great contour shade. Now, here is a TJ Maxx find. This is I just dug my fingernail into it. That's fun. This is an Anastasia contour powder kit. They did not have fair to light. They only had medium to tan. This is way too warm for me, but I kind of figured if I ever got into freelance makeup, it would be something good for my kit. So this is something I may see if I can gift away to a friend or something, because I've literally never touched it until a few seconds ago when my fingernail went right into that highlighting powder. So no idea if this is good or not. Never used it because I just know it wouldn't work for my skin tone. However, I did find the cream contour kit in the shade Fair. So again, I haven't used this. Oh, I did. It looks like I did try it once. I don't remember what I thought about it. I'm going to try it again in a video. I'm going to do like a full face of products that I bought but never used, and this is going to be in there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to try this out again and force myself to use it to see if I like it or not. So for now, this is staying because I need to get a better judgment on it. For bronzer, I only really have two things. This came in a kit with other Tarte blushes. This is in the shade Stellar. It is very glittery and very orange. I don't like this. I don't think I've ever used it. It's kind of hard to get it to show up, but that's kind of the way it goes with the Amazonian clay. You really have to dig your brush in there. I guess it doesn't look terrible. It just, I don't know. It's just not it for me. So this is going to go away. This is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. This has lasted me at least 2 years, so it's expired, but it still works just fine. This is in the shade Light Bronze. I love this. It is perfect for pale skin tones, so I highly, highly recommend this. This is not going anywhere. It does have a light coconutty scent. However, it dissipates once it's on your face. Like, you don't walk around smelling like coconut all day. So this is a keeper. Now let's move on to blush and highlight. This is kind of what I have everything in. I guess we can do, oh god, my Oprah highlight is literally breaking up everywhere. Let's go through blush first and then get into highlight. So I'm not a huge blush person. I really like these muted blushes. I like the Tarte blushes. I don't find anything wrong with them. Like I said, you just have to swirl your brush in there a couple of times to get the product to show up, but it's not anything super intense, so I like that it's buildable. And I just really love these two shades. This is in the shade Party. It was part of a birthday gift, so I'm not sure if they regularly sell this. And this is in the shade Exposed. I love this. It kind of blends in perfect with my contour and bronzer. It just adds a hint of rosiness. See, these are like so my skin tone. It's like hard for them to even show up. There, I guess you can kind of see that. And Exposed is even more muted and browny. I'm sorry, these are not great swatches at all. The other blushes I have, I'm holding on to just in case I want a pop of color, which I rarely do. Again, these all came in a little kit together. So it's awesome when Tarte has deal on blush kits. I would pick any of them up. This is in the shade Magic. It is a beautiful coral. This is a color I would lean towards if I did want a pop of color for my makeup. This is in the shade Fantastic. It is very bubblegum pink, very bright. So this I use sparingly. Ulta also has really great blushes. This is in the shade Afterglow. It does have like a little bit of a gold sheen to it. It's a very beautiful light wash of color with, again, a sheen to it. See if I can really get it on there for you. So the rest of these are staying. All right, so while I'm cleaning up, I mentioned in my other video that I definitely have a problem when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. I'm always buying them when I don't need to be. And it's the same thing with foundation. And I said those are the top two things that I always want to try more of that I'm always buying. But I think I like spoke a little bit too soon because this highlight situation over here is kind of serious. So I guess for highlight, I'll just do my least favorite to my favorite. I picked up this Urban Decay Kristen Leanne highlighting palette because it was on sale, I think, for like $13 or $15. And again, I figured if I'm building a kit, it's something good to have. I'm just not the biggest fan of this. I think I need to try it more and give it more of a chance because I only used it a handful of times, and if it's not blinding, my natural reaction is to just put it aside and not reach for it again. This is too dark for me. This is almost too dark for me. I can kind of get a way of mixing them both together. This is the only one that really works for me. And I think that that's also kind of a turn off. I mean, I think it's great that, you know, it's a palette that anybody can buy and know that it works. I just wish it was 3 colors that were suited towards your skin tone. So like a light highlight palette, medium highlight palette, and then one for dark and one for deep skin tones. These are really pretty and they do kind of give you like that wet glistening look. It's just not as powerful as I had hoped, I guess. I mean, like I said, they're really pretty. I just haven't, I think I need to force myself to use it a little bit more. But this would look great on my highlight. This would definitely be too dark for my cheekbones. This kind of works, so I think I just never really play with this again because only one color works for me. By the way, I'm getting delirious at this point because I'm trying to film this all at once, like in one take and one go. So now that I'm like getting towards the end, I'm just like, ugh. All right, so next up, this is the Mary Lou, and this is by no means a bad highlight. This is kind of a classic OG product. This is by The Balm. It is, I think, right when highlighters, before they really got popular, this was like the blinding highlight that everyone would use. It's definitely a little bit more of a gold shimmer. It is very soft texture-wise and just feels really, really nice. Again, I have to be really light-handed with this because it can go a little bit too gold for my skin tone. This one, I just can't part with yet. I just want to hold on to it just because it's a collector's item. It's kind of like the first big highlight that I ever bought. So I can't part ways with it. And same thing with the Kristen Leanne palette. I'm holding on to it to try to work with it some more, but it may be something that I get rid of in the future. So next are these Dose of Color highlights. This is from the original Desi and Katie collection. This is in Fuego. This is in Mirame. Both do not work for my skin tone as a highlight, but I've found other uses for them, which is great since I spent money on them. Fuego, I can get away with using a very, very, very light hand in the summer when I have a tan. These highlights are just stunning, and they definitely have like that super wet, glossy look to them. But like I said, I have to use a really light hand in the summer for Fuego, and I can kind of get away with it. Mirame is absolutely just gorgeous. It is like a beautiful rose gold highlight. So I use these as blush toppers, and basically when I'm doing my makeup, because I'm not a huge blush person, I will take this Luxie 522 brush, dip it in and then lightly tap it on the apples of my cheeks. And it just brings a nice glow to my cheekbone. And if these highlights would work for your skin tone, I highly recommend them. I'm sure any formula by Dose of Colors is going to be similar and just as amazing. And last up, these are the two faves that I use every single time I use my makeup. This is the Becca Moonstone highlight. I've had this since 2015, so of course it's expired. It still works fine. I'm almost out of it. It is pricey, but like I said, I've used this every single time I do my makeup pretty much since I bought it consistently for 3 years. So while pricey, it's still here and I'm still getting use out of it. So I think that kind of justifies the price, and it is just the perfect glow if you are on the pale side. I really want to try Pearl. So I may get that next, or I may just end up repurchasing Moonstone, but it's just so beautiful. This gives you like more natural glow within. So that's why I like using this as a base, and I use it all over. Now, if I really want to get blinding, I go to my Ofra Glazed Donut by Nikki Tutorials. I just hit pan on it today, and I'm so sad. And as you can see, it's a very dusty highlight, but that is a-okay, and it is super blinding. A little goes a very long way with this highlight. Super bright. It is that true white highlight for us super pale people, and I absolutely love it. I would 100% repurchase it, and I would 100% repurchase the Becca highlight too. Alright, so the keep pile is pretty large for today, as I'm only getting rid of 2 products in this category, so not bad. I just know that these are tried and true well, at least I know these are tried and true products that I use on a daily basis, and I will just continue to use until I run out. I will give updates on the Anastasia palettes. That is going to wrap it up for today's decluttering video. I really hope you enjoyed it. It's been kind of fun to go through this because as I'm talking it out with you guys, I am actually, believe it or not, throwing away and getting rid of a lot more product than if I just was doing this myself, if it makes sense. Sometimes it helps to like talk things out and justify why something needs to stay and why something needs to go. It's helped me, so I'm appreciative of that. I hope you subscribe before you head out today. If you are not caught up on my other videos, feel free to check them out here, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.